Hi guys. Today we're going to talk about dividing fractions, and we're going to start off talking about dividing fractions by using the bar model. And you know, a lot of times I tell you I'm not real big on bar models, but in this case I do like the way that it shows it. So let's get started. First of all, it says how many, oops, let me turn this on here. How many 1/4 are in 2? Okay, so we're going to be dividing 2 divided by 1/4, because when you ask like how many 4s are in 8, that would be 8 divided by 4. Or how many 2s are in 16, you would say 16 divided by 2. So in this case, we're saying how many 1/4 are in 2 wholes. And you notice we've written 2 divided by 1/4 over here on the side, and that's where we're going to get our answer. We have 2 wholes. We have 1, 2, and we're going to divide each one into a fourth. So here's my half. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1/4. Each one of these are a fourth. So very simply, and on your paper you should be doing the exact same thing. Very simply, we're going to go through here and we're going to count how many 1/4 we have. Well, we have, hold on just a minute here. There we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 1/4. So there are 8 1/4 in 2. It's pretty simple. Make sure you have this written down on your paper. Okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to go to our next one. And our next one says, example B, and we're all in the same thing here. Example B says 3/4 divided by 2 equals. And then over here it says when 3/4 is divided into blank groups, how large is each group? Well, we have 3/4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. If I take my whole thing and divide it in half, then I need to divide each fourth in half. So let me explain why. If this is 3/4, this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Let me divide this 3/4 in 2. Okay, so that'd be like dividing it right here. Well, that means I have 1 here and 1 here. Well, I need to do that to each one of my groups now. So I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to do it here. Why am I doing it here at the end? Why am I doing it here? Because this is 1/4, so it also has to be divided in half, because we're dealing with a whole here. We're dealing with a whole here. So let's count how many boxes we have. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a total of 8 boxes. So that means each box is worth 1/8. Okay? So this is 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. Get the picture here. I'm putting 1/8 in each one, which you should be doing the same thing on your paper. Even if you think you already know how to do this, please make sure you're doing that. Now remember, this was 1/2, and this was the other half. Okay? This was one group, and this was one group. Okay? So how many total groups, how many total 1/8 is in each group? Well, I have 1, 2, 3 in this group. and I have 1, 2, 3 in this group. So my answer is, how many groups were I able to divide this into? I was able to divide it into 2 groups. 2 groups. Okay? So I'll give you a second. Pause this if you need to make sure you have all of this written down. And I'm going to go ahead and erase it and move on. You pause it and have it all written down until you get it. Once you get it all written down, you may start the video back up. So our next set says, use your understanding of division to model the division problem below. Now, am I going to ask you to do your problems with bar models all the time? No. But right now, we're going to practice some, okay? So it says 5/6 divided into 2. 5/6 divided into 2. So if this right here is my 1 whole right here, that means I need to divide it into 6. And my easiest way to do that is to divide it in half. And then I have 1 here, and I have 1 here, and I have 1 here, and I have 1 here. Each one of these is equal to 1/6. Because how many 1/6 do you have to have in 1 to make it a whole? Well, you have to have 6. 6 makes 1 whole. Okay? And we are going to divide 5/6 of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to divide this 5/6 in half. So this is my 5/6 that I'm going to divide in half. Okay? So if I divide this in half, I have to go right about here. Whoops. Here. And this should divide it in half. Well, let's see how many we're going to have then. We're going to go ahead and do these because this is what we're going to have anyways. This is how we would divide it. So if I'm going to divide this in half, and this in half, and this one in half, and this one in half, and this one in half, how many do I have now? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, horrible looking 9, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it means each one of these is worth a 12. So let's put that in there. 1/12, 1/12, 1/12, 1/12. Just keep filling it in. Okay. Just keep writing it down until you get them all filled in. And how many total 12s do I have in 5/6? Well, remember, we divided it right here. Okay? Now, so we know that we have, and our half, if you remember, was right here. This was half of our 5/6. And this was half of our 5/6. So how many 5/6 are in, when we divide 5/6 in 2, how many 5/6 are over here? Or how many pieces? We'll end up with 5/12. So when 5/6 is divided into 2 groups, how large is each group? Well, each group is equal to 5/12. Or each group is equal, each group is equal to 5/12. Okay? Take a moment. Make sure you have all this written down. I'm going to erase it. Once again, if you need to pause it, you are welcome to. We're going to go to our next question. Our next question is asking us to take 2 and and divide it into 1/3. Well, this is my 2, so I'm going to divide it in half. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm going to divide it in 1/2. So this is 1 whole, and this is 1 whole. Okay? So let's divide it here. And it's telling us to divide it into thirds. Well, how many thirds does it take to make a whole? 3/3 equals 1 whole. So this would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it'd be 1/3. Each one is equal to 1/3. Each one is equal to 1/3. So how many 1/3s are in 2? Well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 divided by 1/3, whoops, 2 divided by 1/3 is 6. Okay? So take your time, write this down, pause this video if you need to, because we're going to talk about dividing fractions by fractions now. So dividing fractions, once again, I know you guys probably learned keep, change, flip. We're not going to use that anymore. We're going to talk about multiplying. Okay? So you are going to change each mixed number into a what? Improper fraction. You're going to rewrite the first fraction. You're going to change the division to multiplication. Find the reciprocal. Getting better at spelling this word. The reciprocal of the second fraction. And then you're going to multiply and then simplify. Don't forget to simplify it. Okay? Once again, if you need to pause this, you can until you get that written down. So let's work some out. It says, practice dividing fractions using the algorithm. The algorithm is what you just wrote down. So you're going to change each mixed number to an improper fraction. 6 is not a mixed number, but it is a whole number. And how do you write it as a fraction? 6/1. And then you change the division sign to a multiplication. And then you find the reciprocal of your second fraction. 3/4 is our second fraction, and the reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. Okay, and now you multiply. 6 times 4 is 24. 1 times 3 is 3, and that can be simplified to 8. Now, if you remember correctly, I taught you guys yesterday or earlier last week on how to cross simplify. So you could have cross simplified this one, and you could have said 6 and 3 can both be divided by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 6 two times, and you could have said 2 times 4 is 8, and 1 equals 8. It doesn't matter. We got 8 both ways, so whichever way is better for you, you may do it that way. Make sure you have this written down. Pause the video if you need to. Otherwise, let's keep going. Our next one is 2/5 divided by 3. So do we need to do anything separate or different to our first number? No, we don't. That stays at 2/5. We change our division to a multiplication. And our second number is 3. Well, that's 3 over 1. And what is the reciprocal of 3? It is 1/3. So we multiply now. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 3 is 15. And our answer is 2/15. That one can't be cross-simplified or simplified, period. So that's that answer. Pause if you need to, but we're going to move on here. Our next one has a mixed fraction. And remember, we need to change all mixed fractions to improper fractions. So how do we do that? Well, we multiply our 2 times our 4 and add our 3. So we multiply our whole number times our denominator and add our numerator. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11. It'll be 11 over 4. Some of you guys were getting confused yesterday and not putting that 4 back on there. And you do need that 4. You do need that 4. So 11/4 divided by 5 over 1. So let's rewrite that now. It would be, let's see here. It would be 11/4 times, what's the reciprocal of 5 over 1? It's 1/5. 1/5. Multiply. 11 times 1 is 11. 4 times 5 is 20. Nothing can be cross-simplified. Nothing can be simplified. So this is our answer. For those of you who are struggling with this concept right here, please make sure you write that down. And remember, you put this answer over the denominator. Okay? So I'm going to move on. Please pause this video if you need to. It says, as you divide fractions in real-world situations, consider asking yourself the following questions to guide your thinking and to help you understand the situation. So it's asking, what is being split up? What value represents the number of groups? What value represents the size of the groups? And does your solution make sense in the context of the situation? Take a moment, make sure you have this written down. And here's our last question on here. And it says, Kayla works at a pizza place. The tomato sauce cans contain 14 cups of sauce. Each medium pizza uses 3/5 cups of tomato sauce. How many medium pizzas can Kayla make with 1 can of tomato sauce? So, and this is how many with 1 can, okay? So what do we know? Well, we know that it takes 3/5 cup of sauce per pizza. And we know that she has 14 cups of sauce per can. That's what we know. And boys and girls, it's real important that you always annotate your questions with what you know. Underline what you know, circle what you need to know. Get in that habit of underlining what you know, circle what you need to know. If you need to see this better, let's make this a little bit easier to understand. Underline what you know. Circle what you need to know. Okay? So what is it I need to know? I need to know how many medium pizzas can Kayla make with 1 can of sauce. That's what we're trying to figure out. I know this is cumbersome. I know this is a lot to write all this down now. Get in the habit of writing it down now, and you'll get in the habit of thinking of it later. You won't have to write it down, but you'll get in the habit of going, what is it that I know, and what is it that I need to know? Okay? So let's plan our work. Well, we need to know how many 3/5 are in 14. Just like before when we asked those questions, when we said how many 1/4 are in 2, how many 3/4 are in 2, okay? Or excuse me, how many 2s are in 3/4. So what we're doing here, boys and girls, is we're dividing. So we're going to divide 14. Turn my pen back on. We're going to divide 14 divided by 3/5. That's what we're working on, okay? So let's put our fraction, our whole number over a 1 and turn it into a fraction. And so using our algorithm, we would say 14 over 1. And we are multiplying that. We're changing our division sign to a multiplication. And we're finding the reciprocal of 3/5. What is the reciprocal of 3/5? It is 5 over 3. Okay? So we need to divide this, or multiply this. So you're going to say 14 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Put my 0 down, carry my 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 70. So you're going to get 70 over 3. Well, if you can do that in your head, wonderful. If you can't, then take your 70 and divide it by 3. 3 will go into 7 2 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract, I get 1. I bring down my 0. 3 will go into 10 3 times. That would be 9. And I would have 1 left over. So this would be 23 1/3 pizzas. Well, the question is, how many medium pizzas can she make? Well, Kayla can make 23 medium pizzas. Okay? So I hope you guys understand this. Take your time. Go back over this if you need to. And when you finish this, please let me know.